Hello, welcome. I'm Kippi from KippiAtHome.com. Welcome to my home and welcome to my channel. Tonight I'm so excited to share with you some little wood slices I cut from a tree that fell in my yard, and I'm going to make a real pretty wreath with it. So let's get started. I got my supplies out here. I love my little zip ties, and I've got my little wood slices off a tree from my backyard. Ribbon, a tree fell, and we have been using it for all kinds of things. I made some hairpin leg tables, side tables. They're super cute, and if you're interested in that, I can certainly get that to you, and you can see how to do that too. I didn't end up using my stapler, but you might use yours for a bow. So we got ribbon, florals, greenery, in a wreath form, and of course I have my hot glue gun over there heating up. I have wire and wire cutters. All right, let's get started on this. Now I have a limited amount of these, and I have actually sanded on one side just a little bit because it was a little bit rough, but I don't want it to be too perfect, and I didn't use any finish on it. And I don't have enough to do 2 layers unless I leave these spaces between, so I'm just going to space them out and see where they end up, and then at the end I'm not even going to have enough to do 2, and you will see what I'm talking about. And I just use that space to put my greenery and my bow. So now that I have all of this kind of planned out, just coming up with my last little pieces there, I can start removing them one at a time, and using my hot glue I will attach it. So, and then I will come back and do my second row. So once I get it all adjusted, I'll know kind of my placement. And it doesn't have to be exact. It's a little bit rustic and it's fun. I've got my little fingertips there, and I only used them at the very end because there's no pushing down. I have a whole piece of wood there. So what I did is I just removed the top piece and put those in the middle and went underneath each place, and I try to kind of hold it right where I had it so I don't have to readjust it. And I put the glue along the form, so you can see if you just put it there and you put it right back down where you had it, it actually works out pretty good. So then I'm going to go and I'm going to remove now another second layer, and I'm going to do the same exact thing, putting the glue on the form itself right under where that would cover it, and then holding it there for a second. This glue dries fast. It's really good stuff. All right, now here comes that second row, and as I said before, I don't have enough to do all the way to the bottom, so I just kind of left one where I'm going to put my floral and my bow. So it worked out fine. So here we go. We're just going to lay it all out there and just do it the same way we did the first time, and lift them as we go, and it'll work out beautifully. Just like before, I kind of did a little peekaboo and then put them right back down. So, and I just hold them for, just a hot second there, and then I move on to the next one, and you can kind of see, just kind of hold it where you had it and keep it in that same position, or you can see that you can adjust it for just a minute, kind of sliding it around, but putting a little bit of glue on either side and then put it right back down. Works perfect. Now they're all glued, and you can see that right there at that bottom, that little hole is going to actually make a great spot to attach all of my greenery to. So this is some seeded eucalyptus, and I adore it. And I also wanted some regular eucalyptus. That was hard to say. And I combined them, and I didn't actually add any flowers, but you are certainly, welcome to do whatever you like. And I'm hopefully we'll get some more. I can get my husband to cut me some more slices, and I'm going to make some more because these would be great gifts. And by the way, the slices are free. They're from a tree in my yard, as I told you earlier. So just kind of manipulating around my greenery until I get it where I like it, and combining those 2 eucalyptus together. And then I'll continue to move it around, and even after I put my bow on, I'll be kind of moving things around till I'm completely happy with it. Well, that's part of the fun part. So once I get them where I want them, I'm going to use a zip tie to hold them together. kind of like a little bundle. I'm just going to put that zip tie on, and then I can set it aside, and if I change my mind how it's going to look, then I can just cut the zip tie off and we can start over. So there it is, and that kind of helps me. And now I'm going to do the second side, and I'll do the same thing. Right, so to get this started, I've just kind of put things in the position where they're going to go to help me decide. So I'm going to work on my bow, and I want something kind of simple, you know, it's a little rustic. I don't want to go too fancy. So I'm going to start out, of course I love buffalo checks, so that's easy decision on that one. So I'm just going to cut it off neatly and using my sharp Fisker scissors that I write ribbon only, so we don't end up using them on paper and they stay real nice. And I'm going to use two different sizes of this ribbon. The 2.5 is what I'm working with right now. And I'm making a loop that's actually going to I'm going to go around in a circle. I'm going to kind of make it the size I want. This might be a wee bit small, so I'm making it just a wee bit bigger. So half of it I think is 4.5. And I'm talking about half of it folded in half like that. So all the way around, of course, will be bigger than that. But you decide what looks good, and that's how you do it. Just hold it up. So I'm going to go around it. Just going to try to keep them all kind of the same size as I'm going around. And you can see this is like no measuring, no anything. You can see there's 2 layers, and what we're looking for is 3 on each side. So you know the beginning is where that piece is cut. So now I'm going to go just past it so I can grab it when I go again. And now I'm going to cut it. And you're not going to believe this, but I'm going to find the center and use none other than a zip tie to hold that together. Next, I'm going to cut out my little streamers or my tails to my bow, and I'm just going to set it aside there, and so I'll have all my elements ready to go when I'm making my bow. My little thinner ribbon, I'm just getting ready to do my bow. I like to do all my little elements first. So this is going to be the center of it. It's going to kind of hold it together. So I'm going to put it over the zip tie, because you definitely want to cover that up. So this is going to be that. So I've got that sitting aside there. Got everything ready. So now I'm going to grab my zip tie, get my center done. And then next to my little bow there, I don't know if you noticed, that is actually the streamer. So I've pre-cut that, ready to go so I can just assemble. Alright, now we're going to just fluff our bow and just get it how we like it, and we can cut our little zip tie off, and then we'll keep assembling. I have one little tip here, and that is to use your bow loops to fluff, and make sure that if you start with that middle, that it goes one way. Make sure on the mirrored image on the other side you do the same exact treatment. In other words, if you pull them out from the inside to whatever loop that is, the bottom loop, the middle loop, or the top loop, make sure they're all going the same way. So this is going to be now installed up inside the back of it. And why I'm doing it like that is that I have more control over it than when I put it in the zip tie. So I like it better like this. So now I'm going to just put them together and find that wherever the thing is, because you know this is wired ribbon. It's only one-sided, so sometimes you have to flip things around. And when you have one-sided ribbon, this is an easier kind of bow, because you don't have to keep flipping the loops around. They automatically are on the right side out. So we're just going to pull it to the back as tight as we can and tie it off, and I'm still connected, if you will, to the rest of it. So I have a short tail, and then I have the really long tail, which I will cut off in a second. But you can pre-cut it off, it's okay, but you know, I just find it like before I know exactly how long I want it to be. But if you cut that tail off and you leave it long enough, then you can use it to tie it to your wreath. Or, like I'm going to do, you can add wire to it and tie it. Or you can hot glue it. think this bow turned out adorable, and it would be cute on a Christmas tree, a package, anywhere in your home decor, or gift wrapping. So now we have our bow ready and our little bundles, and I'm going to find that little center, which is kind of easy to see there. So you can attach it. You can either use more zip ties, which I would suggest if you use those, you use bigger ones than I used for the little bundles, and then you're going to place this one in the center. And so before I get completely committed to anything, I want to kind of view it and see if there's, do I want to add or subtract anything at this point. This is the easiest place to make that decision. This wreath is perfect for all year, and it very easily can convert to a seasonal wreath by adding a few pumpkins, and then at Christmas time maybe a wee bit of holly or some red berries or something, and you could do that. And if you just use them with picks and you wire them on there, you can just keep the wreath the way it is. I'm going to wire on all of the elements so they can be removed, and this basic wooden wreath form with the wood slices on it can be used for multiple different seasons, or even an everyday look that could change, because it's going to last for years and years. So okay, we're just going to go with our eucalyptus, our greenery, and our bow this time. I'm going to get out my wire and start cutting it to start attaching. This is where all the little wires end up. It's not the prettiest look on the back, but I think the back of it's pretty cute. So I used a eucalyptus leaf and I hot glued it to that area to kind of cover those mechanics when I finished. So once you get your bow and everything's on there how you like it, I would fluff my bow, and of course when I hang it on the door, I'll probably fluff it again, and then it'll look great for a long time. To manage the little tails that then are streamers, you can do anything you like. You can cut them straight across, you can diagonal them any way you want, you can make them into what I call the little snake tongue, so you can go this way or can go that way, whatever delights you. I am going to just make them the same, and I thought, well, maybe I'll try to use one on top of the other and try to line up the pattern, and so I did that this time. Turned out perfect. I'm really happy with it. I love the wood and the green together, and then the little gray. It's just really pretty. I hope y'all enjoy making some too. Oh, I think this wreath turned out so gorgeous. I can't wait to hang it out, and I will be making a whole bunch more of them. So I hope y'all will follow our channel, and we will see you soon. We'll be crafting up a whole bunch more, and we've got some Christmas in July coming. You don't want to miss it.